Hello YouTube, Librarian here, back with another video. And today I'm going to be going over the Toontown corporate class trailer that was uploaded a few days ago, and breaking down some notable things that makes this game different from Toontown Online and Toontown Rewritten. So, without further ado, here is the trailer. So in this first shot, we see some of the newly designed Acorn Acres. We see what appears to be a new toon species walking across a bridge with the trolley in the background. But the main thing that caught my attention is that there's a tunnel in the back called Legume Lane, meaning that Acorn Acres will be a full playground and most likely have tasks. We can also see that this tunnel will be leading to Toontown Central, meaning that the entire map is going to be redesigned as well. Also, legume is a plant that is a member of the pea family and is usually grown as a crop to eat, meaning that all of the Acorn Acres tunnel names will probably be based off different kinds of edible crops. The next scene is very interesting because we see a toon standing in a new black and white playground. Now back in Toontown Online, there was originally going to be a black and white playground based off old black and white cartoons called Funny Farms. But I do not believe this is Funny Farms. In the back of the toon we can see what is clearly a brick wall, and we see the toon in a knight helmet. This makes me believe this new playground is going to be medieval themed. In this next scene we see a newly designed Toontown Central. The pet shop is located where the Toon HQ would normally be, the ice cream cones are completely remodeled, but the main point of interest here is that there is a trash can with a toon inside. This toon has a yellow question mark over his head, indicating that he might give a side quest if any toons approach him. Also, one other thing I noticed is that the tunnel in the back has a completely new sign of a flower with a bee on it. This will most likely lead to Daisy's Garden if I had to guess. In this next scene, we see a newly designed Donald's Dreamland where you're able to actually jump on the bed. This was a feature that was originally planned to be on Toontown Online but was cut. Also, we can see here that they renamed Donald's Dreamland to Drowsy Dreamland in an attempt to remove Disney characters from the game. Also, one little detail that I found funny is that both toons that were jumping on the bed are monkeys, so nice little touch there. In this scene, we can very clearly see a new gopher toon species. Here we see a slightly redesigned Minnie's Melodyland. The first thing I notice is that the carousel is now back, while still keeping the fishing pond in the same place as before. Also, this playground looks completely retextured and very colorful. In this part of the trailer, we get to see one of the streets for Acorn Acres in action. We also get a quick look at some of the new cogs being added to the game. In this scene, we see several new gags in action, the first of which appears to be a water balloon. And in the same shot, we can also see a fox toon. The next scene shows a toon running with some sort of box, which is most likely going to be a new drop gag. This next clip shows what appears to be a redesign of the cream pie being thrown. And finally, we see a very scary looking new cog being lured. This small clip shows a redesign of the paint mixer rooms in Cashbot Mints, but also shows a black duck confirming black is now a toon color. This next clip shows a cog battle happening within the room that you fight the CFO. And it also shows all Skelecogs being fought. This makes me believe that the CFO will be getting a second cog round just like the VP. This next clip shows the stronger red goons in Cellbot HQ instead of the weaker yellow ones. This could be hinting at a stronger version of the factory being in the game to obtain more merits from, or it could be a slight change they made to the game to make it harder. Here we see what appears to be a raccoon toon. We also see a bear waste a presentation. One small thing to note here is that the toons now throw fruit pies at the VP rather than cream pies. Cog disguises have been completely redesigned and now cover the Toon's head as well. Here we see that the micromanager has gotten a lot smaller. Here we get a full shot of the new Acorn Acres playground. We can see two tunnels, one called Peanut Place and another called Acorn Avenue, which I think confirms my theory that I mentioned earlier in the video. Now this scene is very interesting since it shows a redesign of how we will be getting gags. We now earn training points and we are able to invest these points into any track we wish. This makes me think we might be able to unlock the tracks in any order we want. This also makes me think that much like an MMO skill tree, we can choose to invest more points into certain gags than other gags, making one stronger than the other, or possibly having every gag track but having them all be slightly weaker. In the bottom, you can also see an XP bar and that this toon is level 47. Leveling up may be how you unlock these skill points. This scene also confirms that Zap gags will be returning from Project Altus. This next scene shows off that clubs or clans will be added to Toontown Corporate Clash. I'm not sure what added benefits these clubs will have, but in the trailer we can see that there is an exclusive chat room that can be used for clubs. In this next scene, we see a wider look of the new black and white playground. The buildings look like castles, and the treasure in the playground is a crown. This almost certainly confirms that this playground will be medieval themed. In this next part of the trailer, we see that NPCs now have animations and are a lot more alive than they usually are. We can also see that Toontown now has a meatball shop, which in my opinion has been long overdue. In this next clip, we see another new toon species. I'm not exactly sure what species that is though. This next part of the trailer shows us 4 toons taking on a cog building of the new cog type. We get to see some new gag animations, some new cog, and the very cool effect that I noticed is that pie residue appears to be left on a cog after you throw a pie at them. And finally, the last thing we see is that the game is coming out June 2018, which is this month. I was never expecting a surprise game drop like that, but we are now less than 1 month away from playing Corporate Clash. So yeah, that was everything I noticed in the trailer, and I must say the game looks amazing. If all the exciting new stuff the Corporate Clash team has added, it seems like the game will be very fun and very exciting to play through. With this coming out in less than a month, and with TTR announcing some new content in a few days, it seems like Toontown players are going to have a very fun summer. So what do you guys think of Corporate Clash so far? Tell me in the comments below. Also, be sure to subscribe for some more Toontastic videos coming soon, including news updates for Corporate Clash and TTR, and when Corporate Clash does drop, some tips and tricks for the game. That's it for now, and I will see you guys next time.